What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about my computer science transcript, all those classes that I took over the 4.5 years that I was in college. I'm gonna give you guys some advice on some different classes, things of that nature. So grab yourself a snack and let's jump right into the video. Hello and welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Rahiem. I am a recent computer science graduate based in North Carolina, and I am here to give you guys knowledge, entertainment, and a little bit of everything. We talk about fashion, film, music, finances, building a business, and all types of topics. So if you like this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And sometimes I stay up really late. Making these videos, editing these videos, as you can see from the last video, and dropping a like is all it takes to show your appreciation. So go ahead and like this video before we get started. All right, so here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I have my transcript pulled up here, starting all the way as soon as I graduated high school. I actually didn't go straight to North Carolina A&T to start my college career. I actually started at Central Piedmont Community College, where I took 3 courses, one on college success, looks like one on university survival, which is like kind of the same thing, and then an English course to get ahead, basically. So those credits transferred in, so as a freshman, I already started with about 5 credit hours. My first semester, freshman year, I took the next English course up, which was English 101 as opposed to 100, biological science, College of Engineering colloquium, which is basically a course where all the new college freshmen sit in a course together. It's like a room full of like 100 to 200 kids, and there's basically one professor, which at the time I believe was the dean, who was my dean at the time, and basically just giving advice, answering any questions that freshmen might have. It's a very nice course to have because not only can you network with the other freshman college students and get to know everybody, but you can also talk to somebody pretty high up about questions, professors, TAs, any questions or concerns that you might have. You will have that person for you freshman year, at least if you go to A&T. I can't speak on other HBCUs, I can't speak on other schools. If you go to A&T, you're gonna have at least that course to make sure that every single day is going smoothly. I also took Intro to Computer Programming. I was in the computer science program, so I took English Intro to Computer Programming, and then I also took Calculus 1. Calculus was pretty good. I enjoyed Calculus 1. Now Calculus 2, when we get there, I had some problems, but Calculus 1, it was smooth sailing. Y, X, yeah. Intro to Computer Programming, I enjoyed that class, and that was probably the most fun I've had in a programming class at this school. Number one, because it was so fresh and so new to me. I was just like, whoa, you can really build anything with these computers, right? And I had a really nice professor. His name was Professor Williams, I believe, and great professor, super cool guy, taught us all the tricks and all the nice, neat things that you should know as a computer developer, a computer programmer, to get started. So that was a great course. I enjoyed that a lot. Now, second semester freshman year, it got a little bit harder. I'm not even gonna lie, but it looks like my grades were about the same. Second semester, I had computer science freshman colloquium once again. Same thing, but basically assistance, trying to make sure that all freshmen make it through their freshman year and can go all the way. Then I also took discrete structures. Discrete structures was actually not that bad. I'm a math kind of guy. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but ever since I was middle school, high school, like I love math class. I was always ready to answer some questions in math class. I'm a math kind of guy. Hold on, I gotta look this up because when I hear discrete structures, I think of math, but it's a computer programming class. Yeah, discrete mathematics is the study of mathematical structures that are fundamentally discrete rather than continuous. There's algebra, logic, topology, probability and analysis in discrete structures. I got an A- in the course, so I was definitely paying attention. I was definitely locked into discrete structures. It was a great class. I also took computer programming design and got a C- in that course. Oh man, GEEN 165. I took that class with Dr. Brian. If you go to A&T right now, you know who Dr. Brian is. Great guy, but he does not play. He does not. He will fail you in a heartbeat. And he definitely failed me. He didn't fail me. I got a C-, but you need a C to pass the course. So you can imagine my frustration the next semester when I had to come back into his class after only failing his class by a couple points. Ridiculous. I also took modern world history class. Never a problem for me. That was super easy. Calculus 2. I got a D in calculus. But this was my second semester in college. I was signing up for different organizations. I had friends. I wasn't really locked in as much as I could have, because after I took Calculus 2 the second time, then I was just like, okay, I could have just done this the first time. When you get to Calculus 2, if you ever have to take Calculus 2, I definitely recommend do not give it the same energy that you gave Calculus 1, because it is not the same ball game. It is not the same ball game at all. And then I took Speech 250, which is a speech fundamental class. That class was pretty chill. That was like one of my favorite courses. I think I had it like twice a week at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. So it was my last course of the day for most weeks. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Speech 250. We got up, we had to do a lot of speaking stuff. She made us like group up and like talk to people and engage. Probably bet as a freshman, being in a course like that, you build a lot of long-term bonds. Speech 250 was a pretty good one. So that's freshman year out of the way. Like I said, Calc 1, Calc 2, 2 programming classes. I had a science class, those colloquium classes to make sure that freshmen aren't dropping their classes or not skipping classes and stuff like that. I only failed one class, and it wasn't even an actual fail. He just didn't want to give me the points to see me get that C, so I got a C-. Whatever, I had to do it again. But freshman year was a success in my opinion. All right, going into sophomore year, I think sophomore year, this is around the time where I started to be a little bit more of an entrepreneur, a little bit more of a freelancer. So I was starting to get more known for photography and stuff like that. I was on the RHA executive board, where I served as the public relations officer. I helped create flyers, create promotional content for events that we had going on. It was a really nice retreat. They treated us really nice as executive student leaders, and that's actually how I got this shirt right here. I think it still says, what does that say? I think it says something about executive student leader, but that sophomore year was like that gold year for me. I was like, I had already in 2 semesters achieved, you know, what some people take forever. Sophomore year, as far as classes go, I took basic grammar, mechanics, and writing, which is the next English course up. Food and man survival. It was an elective. There's quite a few electives that we have to take as computer scientists. So I took food and man survival. World, religion, and geography, introduction to philosophy, and introduction to astronomy. So my first semester sophomore year was pretty much nothing but electives. I was out here not even worried about computer programming or mathematics or anything like that. Sophomore year, first semester, great semester, easy semester. Made a lot of good friends and stuff like that. Lowest grade that I got that semester was a C, and that was an intro to astronomy. Astronomy got a little bit hard towards the end because like there's some actual math that you have to do in there, some formulas that you have to understand, and the professor was a little bit of a stickler. He wasn't having it, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't having it. So I got a C in that class, which is enough to pass. Wasn't too worried. Now the next semester is when I took my internship course. As sophomores, we did have to have one internship semester where we interned as a part of our semester, and I got a satisfactory in that course. That internship, but what was interesting about that course was my internship was with Pish Posh Apparel. Pish Posh Apparel was created by this girl named Imani. She also went to A&T, and I was an intern for a designer on campus. So it wasn't necessarily like I was in this big corporate job, sitting behind the desk or doing anything in that area. It was more so we were going to fashion shows, I was helping make hats, I was helping with deliveries and stuff like that. So that was one of the most fun internships that I've ever been on. That bond, staying up late, traveling to like different cities and stuff like that, that's a connection that I don't really have with anybody else. So Imani is a huge part of my life, and was for an entire semester because I was her intern. I also took computer science sophomore colloquium, which is like the next level of that colloquium class that I was talking about for freshmen. But they also want to still continue to see you grow and make your way through college all the way to the end. So there's a sophomore, junior, and senior colloquium that offer different things at each level. So I also took the sophomore colloquium my second semester. Writing science and technology. Writing science and technology was a cool class. Computer program design, I took that again because I had failed it my freshman year. So I passed it this time with a B-, much better than a C-. And second semester sophomore year, that was a really hard one. It was a really hard one because I had intro to differential equations, and I had to withdraw from that class. So I got a W on my transcript here because that class was so hard. So hard. And I mean, like, every quiz that I took, every test that I took, it was like 50, 56, 45. And it's just like, it's not that I'm not studying, it's not that I'm not trying, but some of this stuff is just hard. It's just hard. And if you mess up on one number, you're done for. You know what I'm saying? The whole question's wrong. And then my professor, he was just not having it. So intro to differential equations, second semester, sophomore year, took a L, major L. Big L. I was hurt. I was really hurt. Next semester after that, second semester sophomore year, done, boom, great year. Sophomore year, one for the books. I can't, say this enough. Sophomore year was a great year. At the end of sophomore year, I won the position of Mr. RHA, which is Mr. Residence Hall Association, which is basically I was going from one position on the executive board to another position on the executive board. The first position was a public relations officer my sophomore year, and I was going to be Mr. RHA my junior year. But because I did so bad my sophomore year, second semester, I didn't know if I was still going to have that position. Not only did I not know if I was going to have that position still, but I didn't know if I was going to keep my scholarship and I was going to be able to continue school. So that whole summer after sophomore year, oh man, I don't know what to do next. I don't know when my transcript comes back, if the scholarship is gonna accept me. It was just a tough summer. Personally, financially, physically, mentally, spiritually. Sophomore to junior year, that summer, it was a painful one. It was a very painful one. It wasn't even a terrible summer. It was a huge summer of growth and learning myself and learning about life, stuff like that. So I can't call it terrible, because without it, I wouldn't be who I am today. We picked it up junior year. I only took 12 credit hours my junior year. I continued that internship with Imani, not as an actual internship, but more so as like, hey, I really liked working with you last semester. I would like to continue working with you this semester. And I only have 12 credit hours, so I'm gonna have a lot of free time on my hands. So that semester, I think we had traveled to like 3 or 4 cities. There was like so many shows, homecoming. A lot happened that first semester junior year for me and for my friends and people around me. So that was a big semester, small semester academically though. I took business programming, data structures, African American history, and intro to differential equations again. And one of the reasons why that junior year semester was so light is because I took such a big L in differential equations that I was just like, I gotta drop at least one of these courses, or just take the bare minimum so that I can survive differential equations, because I'm gonna have to put a lot of time into it. I remember like staying up dumb late, just like hurt, crying, doing math problems with this calculator. It's just, college is hard. College is hard, and anybody that you see with a degree, ask them. You gotta work. It takes actual work to go all the way through all those courses, to have a social life, and to be a productive member of your college, in orgs and stuff like that. So it was very hard, but I made it through. Passed intro to differential equations with a C. I was just like, thank you, Lord, get me out of here. Second semester junior year was a pretty big year as well. That semester I did 16 credit hours. I took chemistry, chemistry lab, which I actually dropped chemistry lab because I wasn't doing too well. I came into chemistry lab late, and when I came into the class, they had already done like 3 assignments, which put me back very far because I wasn't the best chemist. I didn't do so well on some of those quizzes and some of those exams, so I dropped the lab but passed the lecture. So I passed chemistry lecture and went on to the next lecture the following semester, but I had to retake the lab. Database design, I enjoyed that class because it was taught by one of my favorite professors. He was just super chill. His name slips my mind right now, but super chill professor. You can tell that he probably went to a HBCU and he didn't assign too much homework. He wasn't a taxing type of professor or class. You know, some professors, they just do the most. It's just like you didn't have to assign that homework assignment right before Thanksgiving break. You didn't. But this professor, he wasn't that type of guy. So I really enjoyed that class. Database design is something that I'm interested in to this day because of that course. I also took analysis of algorithms. I don't really remember too much of that. Computer science junior colloquium, of course. Intro to global studies. Global studies was fun. And my professor in that class found out that I was a videographer and a pretty talented one too. And he was like, hey, I have this opportunity where I'm going to, I think it was Barbados or something like that. I didn't end up going on that trip. It was a great opportunity, and you could tell how cool a professor is when, you know, we're talking about a subject that has nothing to do with his course, but still, you know, would reach out and give me that opportunity. So I didn't go to Barbados to film that documentary, but great course. And then the last course that I took that second semester was business environment. I enjoyed that course. I think I learned so much about business in that course, and it translated a lot to you know, how I run my own business. A lot of these courses, what they mostly touch on is vocabulary. The terminology that these different fields use. So that's my junior year complete. Junior year was great socially. Academically, it was a pretty good year. After completing it, I was just like, you know what? I'm really gonna finish college and I'm gonna finish it strong. So after junior year, during junior year is when I really buckled down and really said, hey, this degree, it's mine. You know, it's not like my sophomore year where it's just like I'm, you know, being this social butterfly, joining these organizations and, you know, XYZ. I completely dropped most of the organizations that I was in. I was in Verge Modeling Troupe, Aggie Livewire, Residence Hall Association, Men on the Move, quite a few different organizations, but my junior year and senior year, nothing. I dropped all of it because I wanted that degree, and I noticed that my freshman and sophomore year, part of the reason why I struggled so much is because I was involved so much. I was on campus, you know, being a tutor and helping other people, you know, become the best versions of themselves. But my academics were slacking. I was being distracted by the social life and, you know, being involved. So junior and senior year, I completely dropped most of that. And the only organization type thing that I was in was my own business. I built my own company. And at that point, I didn't want to be a part of anything that didn't help me academically or financially. And financially, those orgs, they asked for fees to be in them. You had to like pay for the shirts. All that stuff was taxing, and I dropped all of it for my junior and senior year, which I would actually recommend other people do as well. The junior and senior year should be about you, not the orgs that you're in. So, and then junior year is also when I figured one very important thing out. Group chats are so important. Group chats are like how you make it through college. You don't, if you have 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 friends in a classroom or maybe a couple classes that you take together, immediately make a group chat for every course and be like, hey, you know, this is the chat, this is the success chat. We're helping each other with homework. We're helping each other with taking notes. We're helping each other pass this course. And once you establish that with a couple people in every single one of your classes, you're not failing. I didn't fail a class since my sophomore year using that ideology, that each one teach one, that everybody work together mentality. And once I unlocked that with myself and my peers around me, it was a smooth sailing out of college after that. And then lastly, senior year. This video is at 30 minutes. Hopefully I could chop it down to much less than 30 minutes, but we're at 30 minutes. Senior year, I took general chemistry lab, that lab class that I failed. Had to take it over. I got a C+, which is good. I got internet systems, programming languages, computer architecture and organization, intro to probability and statistics, linear algebra, and matrix theory. Those classes sound super duper hard. How'd you do it? Personally, internet systems was pretty easy. Internet systems was basically like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It's just like if you're a computer scientist, you should know how to do that anyway. Programming languages was a little bit harder, but you know, still nothing to, at this point, most of it is pretty familiar, so it wasn't too hard. I got an A in that class. Programming languages, I got a B-. Comp architecture and organization, I got a B-. Intro to probability and statistics, I got an A-. And then linear algebra and matrix theory, I got a B. And then like I said, you can tell my grades reflect how involved I was on campus as well. You can see in my grades that there wasn't that many distractions at this point. I got a C+, A, B-, B-, A-, and a B. Surprising, next semester I got straight A's. I got my senior year, like last semester senior year, the semester that I was supposed to graduate, I got straight A's. So I took fundamentals of cybersecurity, AI and machine learning, theory of computing, social implications of computing, and software engineering, Comp 410. And I got A, A, A-, A, and A. Made the chancellor's list. Very proud of that semester. Very, very proud of that semester. And at the end of that semester, I also got an internship at International Paper, where I was a front-end developer in their application development services ADS team at International Paper. I don't think I vlogged that much that summer, but I was at International Paper summer 2019. Great summer. I enjoyed it. A little emotional because I was far from my family and friends. And then the very last semester, my camera's dying, so this is it. I'm wrapping it up here. The very last semester, I took operating systems, senior project 2, intro to mainframe and operations, and then management of information systems. Oh, I also took network computer systems. And one class that wasn't reflected on here that I actually had a problem with was chemistry, chemistry lab and chemistry. I didn't get those reflected on this transcript because this is an older transcript, but I had troubles with those classes, but I made it out with like a C or better anyway, so I'm not gonna even look back at the past. Chemistry was such a frustrating class. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps it up for me. That was all the classes that I took. I didn't go into dramatic detail into every single one of them, but there's a pretty good list of the classes that I took to get my computer science degree at North Carolina A&T. Most of those classes were pretty tough. They were pretty tough. It took a certain amount of grit, a certain amount of keeping my head in the books, but in the end, it really just took lots of hard work, lots of dedication and faith. I'm also considering going back to school. I want to go back and get my master's degree, but we're going to talk about that in the future. I'm going to leave this video here. It's already long. If you're here at the end of this video, you have to subscribe. You have to like the video. You have to subscribe at this point. We are now friends. You done stuck around all the way to the end of this video. Me and you are a little closer now. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Most of my videos from here on out are going to be pretty long. I got to get that watch time up, guys.